I just finished reading Amazing Spider-Man Unlit, and it's brought a few questions to my mind. Okay, one, why did you stretch that unsensible storyline One Moment in Time, Brand New Day on so long without any explanation as to why it was happening? Two, why and how did you wait so long to have a reasonable explanation between what happened with Peter Parker and Mary Jane? And three, why didn't you just wait until you had a sensible explanation instead of just rebooting a book and putting it out 3 times a month so that way you can make more money off of it? I don't know why. After I put these staggering questions aside, I realized, though, that I do really kind of like the One Moment in Time storyline. It's actually, I don't know, it makes sense, and it explains what happened between Peter Parker and Mary Jane, besides that they made a pact with the devil. In fact, you really don't even see that anymore, because they've rewritten history, and now that hasn't happened. Instead, Peter Parker and Mary Jane have a sensible talk with each other and decide that Mary Jane should just, I don't know, go away because she can't deal with Peter Parker being Spider-Man anymore, which is the more reasonable thing to do. Everybody is dying, and Peter Parker is the reason why, so instead of going to the devil, maybe, just maybe, they should get a divorce. But Quesada didn't want that to happen originally. You know why? Because he didn't want that to set a bad example for kids. So instead what he did was he had him make a deal with Satan. You know, that sounds like a great idea, kids. Why don't you go out and see what that can do for you? Anyway, so after reading One Moment in Time, or Omit, as it was so fondly called for a long time, it brings to questions why they couldn't use the storyline to begin with. Sure, it changes the lines and is slightly impossible for it to have really happened, but Quesada kept saying the Mephisto storyline is magic, so it doesn't need an explanation, which is true, but it does need to not suck. Okay. They did Brand New Day. No, One More Day. One Moment. Deal with Mephisto. I have to ask why? I just finished reading Amazing Spider-Man's One Moment in Time storyline. What is it called?